One day after President Trump took office, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, known as ICE, was told that its agents should make arrests at courthouses. This was a practice banned by the Biden administration. But courts are an attractive place to conduct ICE enforcement because courts have hearing schedules that indicate who's expected to show up. And of course, once a target is inside a courthouse, you can be sure he's unarmed and not dangerous. But Democratic lawmakers across the country are trying to make it hard for ICE to enforce the law. And last week, the Connecticut legislature enacted restrictions on civil arrests by ICE agents in state courthouses. And this follows Illinois, New York, and other blue states doing the very same thing. We have two knowledgeable guests to discuss this trend. Connecticut State Senator Rob Sampson, a constitutional scholar and also a great orator, and Connecticut State GOP Chairman Ben Proto, who's holding the fort. So welcome to both of you.
Thanks. Good morning, Beth.
Senator Sampson, I've watched you on TV up in Hartford. You're doing a great job. Isn't crossing the southern border clandestinely a criminal act? So why only the limit on civil arrests?
Right. As far as I'm concerned, it's a criminal act and always has been. But the Connecticut Democrats continue year after year to try and expand protections for criminal aliens. And this policy you just mentioned is the most recent, variation on that, which is the courthouse ban.
Amazing. Chairman Proto, let's get to the politics. The illegal immigration industrial complex, that's what I call it, is swamping the Connecticut legislature. A staggering 92 advocacy groups were up in Hartford inside the Capitol demanding rights and benefits for illegals. One of them, Danbury Unites for Immigrants, submitted a letter claiming enforcing immigration law amounts to, quote, tearing students from their futures. Can you explain to all of us how these groups are taking control of the Democratic Party and the state legislature? Taxpayers be damned.
Sure, it's a simple term. It's called Trump derangement syndrome. Look, there is no policy behind this other than we don't like Donald Trump. Because here's the thing, and I've yet to have anyone answer this question, be they media, politician, legislator, whatever. Do these same rules apply to federal or local law enforcement folks calling federal agents about U.S. citizens and keeping U.S. citizens from being arrested for crimes they may have committed by federal agents? The answer is no. So what the Connecticut Democrats have done is they've given actually more rights, in my opinion, to illegal people here illegally than we have to citizens of the state of Connecticut or citizens of the United States. And this is just simply, we don't like Donald Trump, because there's absolutely no policy reason or rationale behind this. And I think, I've listened to Senator Sampson as well, and he's very, very good on this issue. And Rob, I would ask you, do you see any policy reason behind this? I don't see it other than we don't like Donald Trump.
Take it, Senator Sampson.
Yeah, it would be very hard to speculate on what the ultimate goal is. I mean, some people say maybe these folks can vote at some point or whatever it is. Or maybe, you have some of the more urban legislators that might represent communities where these folks live. But you're right. There's no real policy reason behind it, but it doesn't stop them. They continue to expand protections for illegals. Back in 2019, they passed something called the Trust Act in Connecticut, which protected criminal aliens, known gang members, terrorists, put them ahead of Connecticut citizens. And this is just, every year they come back with a little bit more. I will tell you that there was one other thing that they did was they actually changed the penalty for 1-year misdemeanors in Connecticut to make it 364 days instead of 365.
Wow.
And you might scratch your head and say, why would they do that? Until you realize that 1-year threshold is what the federal government uses to determine whether or not you've committed a deportable offense.
Well, so we've got to continue with this.
Criminal aliens.
We've got to continue with this. I'll have you both back because we have to figure out what's going on there. Taxpayers and citizens are left in last place. Thank you, Senator, and thank you, Ben Proto. You're both terrific.
Wonderful. Thanks for having me.